Life is very complex, and it gets even more complicated when it is filled with conflicts. Qualities like compassion, cooperation, companionship, all this keeps disappearing as we grow into this complexity of life, into its conflicting situations where we are lost how to handle all these intricacies and the challenges life poses in front of us. In all these situations where the human race is clogged with disease, distress, and faces lot of disasters, both natural calamities and man-made disasters, the human race is lost and are looking for something, searching for a happiness which simply eludes us. And so the mental health has become a big issue throughout the planet, especially after this pandemic. Mental health cases have skyrocketed, and so many people have not realized the preciousness of life and have committed suicide. So many have lost their life over trivial things, not recognizing the value of life. In this scenario, it is very pertinent for us to bring back the value of yoga and practices of meditation in daily life, which would give us the much needed confidence in life to move through the conflicting situations. Financial crisis, social distress, and personal problems can all be addressed through the practice of yoga. I have seen in the last 45 years how many people have come out of their sorrow, their misery, and they're seeking through the practice of yoga, meditation, pranayama, these techniques. It is very, very important for us, those who are practicing yoga. Nearly 1/3 of our population on this planet today, fortunately, are practicing yoga. You turn around in any corner, there'll be somebody whom you will get who is a fan of yoga. But that is not enough. We have to reach the rest of the 2/3 of the population of the planet who are still suffering mental distress, physical disabilities, weakness in the body, and fear and anxiety in their mind. And these people need help. And we cannot just feed them this big population with antidepressant. And the way is change in lifestyle. That is through yoga. Yoga and meditation should be a household name. On this occasion of the 6th International Day of Yoga, let us celebrate with a different. Let us do yoga with our families at home, and let us spread the message, the goodness of yoga to as many people as possible. Again, yoga is not just an exercise to keep yourself fit. It is the union of the individual spirit with the cosmic being. And the joy and the fulfillment that union brings is indescribable. And so, those who are practicing yoga only for physical fitness, remember it doesn't stop there. It's just the beginning. It takes you much further, where you become a fountain of love, fountain of joy. You are not seeking any more love and joy from others. In fact, you are able to give to the planet Earth so much happiness and solace to people all around you. I would invite all the yoga enthusiastic to start spreading the message of yoga. We don't wait for them to come and invite us to put off the fire. We should just jump in and we should extinguish the fire. Today, the fire of distress is spreading on the planet. So many people are committing suicide and are getting depressed. Let every devotee of yoga, let everyone who take interest in yoga reach out to others and help them also to shine like you in life. A society where violence and poverty is reigning, you cannot find peace. Nobody is safe. Our safety and security lies in a society where there is no violence. And the root cause of violence is stress and distrust. This can be eliminated through meditation. I have seen in the prisons throughout the world, 800,000 and odd people have found solace, and their mindset has changed. They have moved away from violence to being committed to social work. Social justice is possible only through heightened awareness. And heightened awareness is possible only when we become sensible and sensitive. And this sensibility and sensitivity is only a byproduct of yoga. If you meditate, you can't but be sensitive to others' feeling, and you can't but be sensible. So let us make this world more sane place, as a world which is more safe for the coming generation, a world which is more just and compassionate. For this, let us all work together in uplifting the mental health through yoga and meditation. You know, in many places, the mental health issue is a big taboo. People don't even want to disclose or acknowledge there is something wrong with them. Here, they are very shy to go to a doctor, a psychiatrist. We must encourage them, no doubt. But if they, as a first step, they should take yoga. If they do yoga and meditation, they will be able to clear most of their issues just through meditation. So they can become much healthier. If changing your lifestyle, eating good food can free you from your disease, you don't need to run to doctor. In the same way, yoga can bring the much needed change in the lifestyle without much effort. That is the beauty here. Without much effort. In Art of Living, we have designed the courses keeping in mind today's situation that we are in. We have so many responsibilities. We have so many things to do. There are deadlines for everything except for life and life itself. So we have been running behind many things, and we are many times lost. So to cope up with all the demands and the pressure that modern life has posed us and imposed on us, we have designed many different programs, right from children to the senior citizens in correctional homes and to executives, to all different sections of society. These programs, in a matter of few days, can bring back your energy, can uplift your spirit, can make you happy again. That's why I started calling it happiness program. You know, many times yoga, people were allergic to yoga 40 years back. When I would say yoga, they thought it is like very tough thing. You have to lift your leg and put it on your neck, and you have to put ashes all over your body. You must stand on one leg in somewhere Ganga river This was the type of misconceptions about yoga that was prevalent 40 years back when we started. In the West, people who thought yoga and all is not for mainstream people. Fortunately, times have changed for the good. Now people are equating yoga with peace of mind, with relaxation. Relaxation and peace of mind are just the first few benefits of yoga. But when you go deeper into it, it's the bliss of the being, unconditional love, and the joy that would not diminish is the ultimate goal. I would like every one of you to undergo yoga teachers training. You should take teachers training, become teachers of yoga so that you can spread that to people around you. You'll be of great help to this generation and the coming generation when you do yoga. And even when you get older, I tell you, you will not become senile or cynical. You will continue to be bubbling with enthusiasm, with joy. Innovative spirit wakes up within you. No doubt about sharpness of your intellect. You become much more intelligent than what you were pre-yoga days. This is for sure. This is certain. As you age, a yogi becomes younger and much fresher and alive. So even if your body ages, don't let your mind age. And that you can do by meditation, by following yoga, by following pranayama, sudarshan kriya, all these techniques. Yeah. Let's make the world young by introducing yoga to every human being. Let's see a violence-free society, disease-free body, confusion-free mind, inhibition-free intellect, trauma-free memory, and a sorrow-free soul in every human being. Now, another thing I would like to add here is you need a teacher, you need a master, you need a guide when you want to progress in the field of yoga. Just by doing postures, don't think you can become a yogi. For a yogi, you need a teacher, a guide, a master, and which is authentic. Due to the misdeed of few people, a sense of fear psychosis has come. Oh, you don't know who is right, who is wrong. This type of doubts are floating around in the field of spirituality, in the field of yoga. Here we must know that, of course, there are some people, there have been some people in the past who have misused that position, but this institution of a master student relationship is very important in the sense that can give a lot of strength for someone to explore the unknown areas of consciousness. The consciousness is a new unknown field, and here individual has to explore this. And in this path, we need a teacher. Everyone needs a teacher, a guide. And take a guide for yourself to move in this path. When life becomes heavy, when all doors seem to have been shut, when you have a guide, you can always lean upon him or her. You can ask your guide, you can take the help of your guide to relieve you of the burden that you are experiencing. I would say if you have a guide, there is no way you will get depressed. Because every time you find yourself lonely or depressed, the guide is always there to help you to move forward. He'll fill you with hopes. He'll give you that much needed impotence in life to move forward. So it's necessary to have a guide on the path of yoga, and you want to be a yogi. So let us bring about this change in our world from being mentally unhealthy, physically weak, emotionally imbalanced, and societally stressed and violent into a better society where people are happy, healthy, and compassionate. With these words, I wish you all the best.